You wanna know who I am? Folks call me the Bone Man, ain't my real name, but it's the one that stuck. Tonight on Requiem Radio, we got a story about the songs that drift across the Rio Grande on 12-string guitar. Thin, high voices that can make a hard man feel the weight of every unpaid promise. Border radio used to carry them at night. The lark of the border sang of heartbreak and hard-won dignity, of debts that outlive the living. Some accounts never quite close. This one's called 6 Pesos for Maria.
The night air along the border carried more than heat and dust. It carried a thin, high voice that once sang for pennies, a 12-string guitar ringing like coins in a tin cup. In the little house at the edge of the colonia, the radio played most evenings. Raphael left it on after his first wife died, as if the music might keep other sounds away. Maria had been practical. She counted every peso twice, never left a debt longer than a week. The fever took her one hard winter. Raphael settled the doctor, the undertaker. The church closed the ledger in his mind. 6 months later, he married Rosa, a quiet neighbor. She swept the floors, cooked the beans, and let him keep the radio tuned to the old border songs. One night, the moon sat low and white over the chaparral. Raphael slept on the narrow cot in the yard. Rosa was away with a cousin whose baby was coming. He had almost drifted off when something pressed against the soles of his feet, a chill precise as fingers made of river water. He sat up. Maria stood at the foot of the cot, not the fever-thinned woman he had buried. Maria, as she looked on their wedding day, thinner eyes holding no anger, only tired insistence. She looked at him the way she once looked at a grocery ledger that would not balance. He scrambled into the house and barred the door. Ghosts were supposed to wail or accuse, not stand there mildly disappointed that a man had remarried without settling a 6 peso account at Xavier's store. The next morning, the priest listened without surprise. The border produced its share of restless dead. Most wanted something simple, a mass, a candle, the repayment of a small kindness left unfinished. That night, the cold hands returned just after midnight. Maria's voice was the same low, practical tone she had used when reminding him to take his hat in the sun. She was glad he had found a good woman. She held no grudge, but she could not rest while the debt remained. 6 pesos to Xavier for the last sack of beans and a tin of lard taken on credit the week before the fever. Until the account closed, she would keep returning, not from malice, because the unfinished thing pulled at her like a loose thread in a hem. In the morning, Raphael walked to Xavier's store with the exact amount plus a little extra. Xavier remembered. He had written it off years ago. He took the money and marked the old ledger with a careful X. That night, the cold hands did not come, nor the next, nor the night after. Rosa returned with news of a healthy baby boy. The radio sang of border heartbreaks. Raphael began to believe the matter settled. It was not. 2 weeks later, the hands returned. Colder. Maria's face carried the faintest impatience. The 6 pesos had been paid, but Xavier had used part of the money for a new pencil. The ghost of the pencil lead still carried the weight of the original debt, only that something remained unfinished. He paid again, enough for any interest. The hands stayed away 3 full weeks. Then the visits resumed, each time a new accounting. The debt had attached itself to a bag of sugar she once meant to buy, but never did, to to a kind word Xavier had spoken that she never properly returned, to the fact that Raphael had remarried in the same dress shirt he wore to her funeral. Rosa noticed his late-night absences, and the way he stared at the radio. The thoughts settled between them. The ghost might not want the money at all. The deeper thing was the acknowledgement that Maria's carefulness had mattered. The next time the cold hands came, Raphael offered no money. He spoke of the way she had kept the household books, how she never let a single peso wander, how her practicality had been a form of love. The house still ran on the habits she had taught it. The 6 pesos had been paid twice over. Any further accounting belonged to a different ledger, one kept by saints, not storekeepers. Maria stood a long moment at the foot of the cot, her outline thinned in the moonlight. Something like peace moved across her face. She nodded once, a small, precise gesture. Then she was gone. The cold did not return. In the years that followed, Raphael kept the radio on most evenings, and the voice of the lock of the border rose through the speaker. He sometimes thought of the woman who refused to rest until a 6 peso debt was settled to her satisfaction. Every so often, when the night was still and the guitar lines carried farther than usual, he glanced toward the yard, half expecting a familiar figure standing there, patient, practical, waiting for the final number to come out even. It never appeared again. The debt had been paid in the only currency that mattered.
You've been listening to Requiem Radio, where music bleeds into the supernatural. And that was 6 pesos from Maria. Sometimes the living try to close the ledger while the dead refuse to forget. Some debts ain't measured in pesos, they're measured in the weight of a name still spoken after the fever is gone. Ain't gonna be no more tonight. Y'all rest easy. And don't let the dark drive you home.